Alright, so I'm just making this video to kind of go through the build because I didn't do it in my digistruct peak run. So we're just going to go through the build and explain everything. So here's generally the build. I think I've perfected the build as much as I can, and it's gone through a lot of iterations, but let's start with the Cataclysm tree because it's changed the least. Foresight, easy mag and reload speed, nothing really to debate there. Flicker, you don't really need all 5 points in there. It's not really that much of a difference, so that's why I have 4. So I could also put 1 into Blight Phoenix, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Emulate, it only applies to when you're in your fight for your life, as it says right there on the card. So it's not really that important to have all 5 points in there. I just have 4 points to move down the skill tree. Helios and Backdraft aren't really good skills. Chain Reaction, when you phase like an enemy, you have a chance to ricochet your bullets. Very good damage, especially with Blurred Trickster. You get a lot of damage out of it. Cloud Kill, when shooting an enemy, it applies Corrosive Cloud. Very useful, especially when you need to heal. You can tag an enemy with one of your bullets. They get hit with Cloud Kill, and then you get some pretty good healing when you swap to the Grog. Reaper, just flat out damage bonus. Very good, just in general. Blight Phoenix, I have 1 point in here so that when I kill an enemy, and enemies try to enemies that do melee and they try to rush me, they will be staggered by my aura because it gives me like a corrosive and incinerate aura. Ruin, when I face like someone, it slags them. Very useful. Mind's Eye, crit damage, really good. That's all I have to say about that. Release, I used to have 5 in here, but with the other points I allocate to my healing skills, I think just having 4 would be the best because you still get 15% max health back from each orb, even though it's only 4 orbs. Wreck, fire rate and gun damage. What else do I have to say? Just very good overall. Res, just for co-op. If I ever get into co-op, I don't want to respec every time I want to play co-op. But if you plan on never playing co-op, I would suggest moving this point somewhere. Elated, when I face like an enemy, I get regen. It's very good because the next skill, Sustenance, it only regens of your missing health. So when you max it out, it's not really worth the skill points. So like when you phase like an enemy, you get 2% regen, and then plus you get 1.2% regen of your missing health. So you get a lot of regen. Plus, with Life Tap, which I only have 2 points in because the amount of damage you do will get you back to full health, even though it's only 2.4% lifesteal. With Lifesteal, when you kill an enemy, you can go into just do some damage to an enemy, and then you just get health back. That's just Lifesteal. And it's very useful, especially when you're in tight situations. You get a kill, but you don't have enough time to switch to your Grok. You can just spam your Unkempt Herald or any other gun you like to get back all your health. And I used to have 3 in this, but I've tested it and 2 works the best. Optimizing it. This tree motion has changed the most in my opinion, mainly because of Accelerate, but we'll get into that. Roared, really just good for shield capacity and delay, mostly for the delay. Accelerate, so the thing that kind of turned me off was bullet speed. It's kind of similar to velocity with 0 and how it can mess up the bullet patterns. However, this skill is a little bit different because it doesn't really mess that much with the bullet patterns compared to velocity. And plus the gun damage is pretty good. And I picked it up so I could use other shields instead of the B shield to amp my damage. So that's why I kind of have Accelerate. 2 points of Suspension because I think that's all you need in Suspension. I don't think you need 3 extra points. I think that's just a waste. Kinetic Reflection, just 1 point. Because it's, no matter how many points you have in the skill, it will always be 100% deflection chance. And that's what we want. We don't want our shield to break as often. We want more survivability. So I don't think there's any point in putting more damage like reduction and deflect bullet chance, because we already have a lot of healing skills, and plus just being able to deflect all your bullets is very nice. Fleet, when your shield breaks, you move faster. Very good, especially if you're doing any farms. You just have a Rough Rider, and you just run through. Very nice. Converge, it's basically a singularity. Very nice, because it also can have the chance to slag enemies that come by. Inertia, when I get a kill, I can regenerate my shields, and plus I get reload speed. Very good skill. And my last 3 points I put into Quicken, so when I finish using my face lock, I can get my face lock back faster, because it's usually mostly my main slagging method. But otherwise, that's really the build. I've tested many other builds, some with without accelerate, 3 points into life tap, no points into Quicken, 3 points into kinetic reflection, stuff like that. And this is the build I kind of came up with. For the guns, Unkempt Herald, very traditional, nothing else to say. Grog Nozzle, again also very traditional, very good healing, also very good slag chance, very good slagging weapon. Sandhawk, now yet again these are not really perfect guns. I think it would take forever to get perfect guns, but Sandhawks are usually good. I have them in all the elements, if I can find them. Yeah, all the elements. None of them are really perfect. This is like the closest one I have, but it has Hyperion grip, but it doesn't matter that much. Lyuda, very good. Just a lot of crit damage, a lot of fire rate. Just overall very good. Also have these in all the elements. B-Shield, very good. This was almost perfect, but it has a Penguin, not capacitor, but it has one Penguin part instead of double Malawan, which was very close. But the Aquiline prefix with the Malawan capacitor just makes it have just more amp damage, and you're immune to corrosive dots. Very nice. Fastball, generally love this. Usually most people use like other grenades like a chain lightning and stuff, but I think the fastball is good. It does a lot of damage, even though Maya's not a grenade character. Very good damage still. Legendary Cat, I would mostly use this for damage because of all the damage skills it boosts. Although it's directly meant for SMGs, it generally just boosts all like the damage skills. And for the bones in all the elements, and I also got a sniper one that I'm probably going to transfer to my 0 whenever I have a chance. Other class mods I use, I like the Binder. It's very good because it has Reaper, +5 in Reaper, and also +5 in suspension. So like if I do need that more suspension time, I have this, because it doesn't risk that much damage, although it does take away from Mind's Eye and Wreck. Another class mod I like to use is Blurred Trickster, because kinetic reflection. So, or not kinetic reflection, chain reaction. So when I face like an enemy, I get more ricochet damage. So 88% chance to do like ricochet, and I get just the bullets pile up, do a lot of damage. Breakneck Banshee, this is when I have a Rough Rider, which just drops my shield to 0, and I move fast. That's really it. I have a reward with recompense for Hater Axe, the boss, because if you like stay within his hitbox before the fight starts and you slag yourself, you can basically one-shot the boss. But that's not really important for the build I'm running, especially for the one I ran for the peak. Siren is a pretty good class mod. I personally don't like it as much, but still really good class mod. Legendary Nurse, I barely use this one, but it's always good to have some different variety. I might test this one out more. What else? Godfinger Smasher, Skull Smasher, very good guns. Bitches and all, 2 of the elements. I still haven't gotten a corrosive. It's been taking me a while to get that. Conference Calls, very good. Hornet, I would say it's perfect, but like the prefix you can probably argue, but it has dog grip, so that's all I really care for. Infinity, I actually got it from the digistruct run. Matching grip, but not really a prefix bonus. It's just at least decent to have, especially if you're fighting the ancient dragons. Norfleet, it's just the Norfleet, very powerful rocket launcher. Antagonist, very good shield. I use this a lot on the run, just to like, you know, mess around. Also slags enemies, very good, just overall. Florentine, I don't use as much. I just got a perfect one, but so it does some pretty good damage. You know, it's also a very fun gun to use, but personally, I don't use it as much. All the pimpernels in each element, very good, especially if you're doing Blurred Trickster, because the pimpernel shoots so many pellets, it can just ricochet over and over again. Just very good in general. Sham, almost got a perfect one, but it was one part off. It was off by a Hyperion part. This is not Hyperion, so it's 93. But it's a very good shield, especially if you're using the Sham. I mean the Norfleet, with the Sham. Very good in general. Quasar is just always good to have, and I also have an explosive fastbow, because I just love the fastbow in general. Lady Fist and all the elements. I mean, really, you just need one. But like, just in case you accidentally shoot it, you don't want to change your element, because it's just like this glitch where if you shoot your gun and then you shoot another gun when you swap to it, it changes to that element. So you don't really want to enact that glitch by accident. So it's just always good to have all of them in different elements. And yeah, that's really the build. There's nothing really else to showcase here. Sorry I didn't show it in the actual digistruct run. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the build. And that's it. No baddest rank, of course. And yeah, peace out.